Welcome to today's video where I want to present you $1,000 per day Facebook ads Christmas gift strategy, as it says right here. So I remember last year I had a client that was actually focusing on the gift space, and we were running a really successful Facebook ad campaign starting in like mid-November or so. And I've also worked with other people on their gift campaigns. Now, I mean, we still have like late September, so it's still a while until we hit Christmas. But first of all, this can be applied to all kind of holiday seasons. So whenever there is a holiday where people buy things, this can be applied, of course. But especially, I want you to be prepared now already so that you can think about what you will do. Because remember, these will be some really important weeks. So if you start early, if you know what you're doing, you have the potential to literally make a ton of sales, like make the same amount of sales that you normally make in half a year or something. So if you already checked my Q4 strategy, my $100,000 Q4 strategy, if you didn't check this yet, make sure that you do so right now. I linked it here at the top of this video. And this being said, guys, if you watched the strategy already, then you can come back here and continue with this one. So my $1,000 per day Facebook ads Christmas gift strategy. Let's first get started with the actual products. So you have to define your main gift products. And this one here is not about, sourcing and how to find winners and all these kind of things, because this is specifically about this holiday stuff. So what you should do is use Facebook catalog ads and appropriate categories. And what this means is if you run a general store, then you should group your products into multiple categories. So if you have all kind of products, make sure that you don't just test a little subset of them. Make sure that you really put your products into categories if you don't do this in your store anyway, and then use these categories to advertise. First of all, obviously, because it's easier to target the right people, but also you want to make sure that you are testing the best category to work with. On Christmas, you would be surprised. We realized that there are many categories that don't do well as a whole, while there are others that do very well as a whole. So it's not just about the individual product, it's really about the niche and the category. And of course, if you run a niche store, advertise all gift ready or gift eligible products if you want. So if you have a limited offering, advertise everything. If you have a little more products within a niche, within your niche, then pick those that are gift ready. Now, gift ready means that some really expensive items are probably not suited for all audiences. So if you're targeting a young audience, probably you don't want to sell them like $500 high ticket items. Also, there are certain types of products, certain categories that are probably not the best to sell on Christmas and on holidays. So these are the ones you need to check. If you run a niche store, make sure that you sell and test as many of your products as possible. Here, of course, you don't need to go into categories as long as you don't have useful subcategories within your niche, but if not, just test them as a whole. And also really important, use existing winners or products that are making you money already first. So if you have a winner, if you have something that, even if it's just making you a few sales, always include the products that work the best for you first, and build the rest of the stuff around them. It doesn't matter whether you sold like 10 of them and the rest only sold once or not at all. The ones that did well best should be tried first, because obviously on Christmas, on holiday, Black Friday stuff and so on as well, conversion rates are higher, and chances are that the products you are selling will sell even better then. So this was it about the products. Now, as I said, it wasn't about research, it wasn't about this kind of stuff. There are enough videos out there. I just want to frame you this whole strategy. The second is building your funnel. And I always suggest that you have a top of the funnel approach where you use the catalog objective to show individual categories. And if you run a niche store, then just a certain subset of your whole catalog. So just as I told you, if you have a general store, use catalogs to always show like all your clothing products, all your toy products, all your survival products, whatever you have in your store. And then always advertise one niche, one category at a time, because you need to adapt your copy the right way. So you need to make sure that you have the right copy that is adapted to the niche. And then you have the right products within each category. Because, as I said, it's important that you find a winning category and not just a winning product. And the reason why this is so important that way is that you can always tailor your copy to this category. You can always talk about your brand. You can always talk about the benefits of the product. And doing this makes sure that you are strategically testing your products. And if you have a niche store, then what you can do is just put all products into one basket basically, and always test some of them at the same time. So you go ahead and test like 10 of these products, 10 of these. The goal of this whole game here is that you find out early in the beginning of the campaign which products do somewhat well, because in like the mid of the whole season, of the whole thing, you want to make sure that you scale like crazy. There is a frame, like a time frame until a few days before like actual Christmas. At least if you have fast shipping, if you or a dropshipper and you dropship from China, obviously you have to start even earlier because of the long shipping time, where you really have to be super active and invest a ton of money in this. And by the way, just one little tip: if you really have these super long shipping times because you dropship from China, be 100% transparent up front and tell them that, you know, if you have 30 days or something, tell them that they should expect that this may take to almost before Christmas or something, because the last thing you want is that 10, 20, 50 people all do chargebacks because the product doesn't make it in time, and you will get like your PayPal limited or something. Also, in the medium of part of the funnel, so one step down, retarget people with the product they viewed. Very normal stuff. Everyone knows that, or should know that, of course. And on the bottom of the funnel, after a certain amount of days, what I like to do is offer them a special Christmas discount in retargeting. So you start here, then you do retargeting, and then after a few days and they didn't buy yet, and this is the point, we don't want to hammer a coupon code immediately. At least this isn't what we try first. We try our product without any coupons, just, you know, the product and some benefits and stuff like this. And then after people didn't buy, we want to hit them up with a discount later on, like 2 days later, 3 days later. We tell them something like, hey, we're approaching Christmas. Now we are offering you an insane discount of 30%. Only available for 7 more days. And the reason why we do that is because the discount becomes more valuable if we really make it seem like it's a special event. So if we tell them immediately, hey, 10% off, 20% off, 30% off, they think that it's not special because everyone is offering these kind of things. But if you really wait a few days and they remember, oh, this was the product that I viewed on their store, and now 3 days later they come with a discount, they think, or many people at least think, that this is actually a time bond thing, so that now you came up with the discount a few days later, and it's not just something that you have running all the time anyway. So you probably know that there are stores who literally have everything on discount all the time, and because they do that, it's kind of less valuable, and you don't react that much to a discount. But if you do it the way I just described it, you will see that you are getting some pretty good retargeting conversions. At least this is what we saw all the time when we did this. But of course, still test immediate coupon codes versus coupon at the bottom of the funnel. So test the bottom of the funnel coupon first, because at least for us, it works very well, and you should try that. But of course, we also have campaigns where we use coupon codes from the beginning on, because they kind of attract attention if you do it the right way, if you don't overuse them and so on. So make sure that you do both, because the last thing you want is, again, here is that the coupon at the bottom of the funnel doesn't work for you, but you only tried it that way, and you're losing out on conversions because you didn't do the immediate coupon. So this is the build your funnel. And the next thing is bidding and spend. And here, first of all, so here we now come into an order. First, know your desired spend for the whole holiday season. So let's say you want to spend $1,000 on Christmas or $2,000 on Christmas. This is what you want to spend no matter how successful your campaigns are. So I know people always like, well, as long as it makes sales, as long as I make profits, I can spend whatever amount you want. But the thing here is, you want to have an amount that you spend anyway. Like you want to fix an amount that you want to spend regardless of the outcome. So even if you make no sales, you say, I want to spend $2,000. And that way you can plan your whole campaign much, much better. If you only say, like, let's say what the next day brings, you cannot really plan the campaign. So this should be the first thing. The second is start by assigning a certain lifetime budget per category. So you say that my clothing category gets a $50 lifetime budget for the next depending on when you start, but for example, 7 days or 5 days or something. Same for this category. This category, of course, if a category has a ton of products and another one has just a few products, but you want to test all of them, then you should give the one with more products the higher lifetime budget. And the reason why we do that is we want to really early on find our winning categories and products. So we do that. We test multiple categories at once, multiple products at once, all assign a lifetime budget, so that after this runs out, and here, very important, guys, don't like check your business, don't do changes every single day. I know people spend all their time in Facebook Business Manager and Ads Manager as well, and they tend to make changes by the hour. But especially with small budget, it's totally useless to make changes after you spend $3. So assign a lifetime budget, wait until the time frame is over, and then review your campaigns and check like which products did work, which categories worked. If there is a category that didn't work, but just one single product worked very well, of course you want to keep that product. But if a category as a whole performed quite well, like all of the products were doing somewhat good, some were doing a little bit better, some a little bit worse, I would continue with the whole category instead of just picking the products that worked a little bit better than the rest. So this being said, of course, you can check your campaigns every single day, but don't make changes all the time unless you see something totally extraordinary, like, CTR of 0.1% all the time or something. Then, of course, you can tune in and say, this doesn't make any sense, or you have super, super high CPC in a category. But as long as it's somewhat usual, somewhat okay, keep it running and do a full test. Third, after spending, choose your winning categories and products, just as I said, and continue with those. If there are products really standing out, make whole campaigns for them, whole, ads for them. If certain categories as a whole stand out, make some new stuff specifically for that category. So create a new copy for these categories, create some new ads for these categories. Continue with the discount thing, just as I told you. And also for the remaining period, do or create engaging video ads for the products that went very well. Now, I know in the beginning this doesn't work. You cannot create like 30 video ads for 30 products, but as soon as you find your winners, as soon as you find the ones that will do well in the holiday season for the rest of the holiday season, you can like invest time or money to create cool ads for the rest of the ads. Now, because why? Well, you know that they have potential. They made some money back already, and you now want to get the most out of them for the remaining weeks or whatever time frame you have. So for the ones that remain, create great video ads, great copy, whatever it is, as much as possible, like multiple ads to split test, and you will really max out the sales that you get for the rest. And then, expand to new audiences as soon as saturation approaches. So this is the problem, guys. When you want to aggressively scale within a few weeks only, because this is what we essentially do, you need to make sure that your audiences are not saturating. So this was one of our biggest problems last year in this period. We were getting like sometimes 8-9x return on ad spend, at least for certain periods. But then, we got return on ad spend of 9 for like 2 weeks in the very beginning of the phase. And then it suddenly dropped because we scaled so aggressively, which we had to do. But then we ran out of our audience. And this is the problem, because you have to scale aggressively, you have to scale quickly, but this is of course not always what is the best thing to do. So here, check very carefully, check your relevance score daily, check out whether it drops significantly or whether, the relevance score goes down, or whether in the delivery insights tab, the first time impression ratio is quickly going down, which means that the majority of people who see your ad are people that already seen it before. So these both metrics are very important, because the last thing you want, again, guys, here are many things that you want last in this video actually, but the last thing you want is that you don't really realize that you're approaching saturation and you waste very important days and very potentially profitable days by just basically running out of audience because you didn't realize early that they are about to be saturated. So check relevance score, check delivery insights on a daily basis. This is literally something that you should actually check daily. And doing that will allow you to early on expand your audience. So whether you want to use the expand option, or what I recommend more, to define entirely new audiences. Of course, you can also split test this, like you can duplicate an existing audience and then turn on audience expansion, and then check for 1 or 2 days how well they perform compared to the original audience. These are all things I recommend to do. As long as you don't just wait for your audience to be totally saturated. Because then when you have to create a ton of new audience all at once for all of your products, this is way worse than always being ahead of the curve and seeing, oh, now I have to do this, now I have to expand this audience, now I have to do this. This is way easier to do than if you suddenly have to recreate everything and you are running out of time again. So you see, guys, I hope that this was helpful. You see that one of the most important aspects here is timing. Prepare upfront, because if you will literally see that every single day that runs out, you're losing on sales. And if you have to create video ads and everything just on in time, of course, I told you that some of the video ads you have to create in the end. But if you wait till the very end with all the rest as well, you will see that it's super difficult, that you will not be able to come up with all these things on the go. So prepare upfront. This is also why I make this video so early. So this being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that this was helpful, even though it was very strategic, I think. But leave a like if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe for more content like this. As always, next week, probably Friday or Saturday, I will hold my free high-ticket training webinar, and you should definitely check it out. So you should check the description for the link and register. It's entirely free. It's a no-fluff webinar. I really, around 1 hour, want to tell you how to succeed with high-ticket, which you can, of course, also apply to Christmas, where this will become very, very important. So yeah, this would be great if you check this out. It will help you a lot, I'm sure. So check out free webinar about high ticket selling in the description. And else, thanks a lot for watching. I hope that this was helpful again, and I will hopefully also see you in the next video. Take care, bye-bye, and all the best with your business.